So Molly, firstly, thank you for allowing me to do this interview with you. I thought it was great what Kate and Carly did for that interview. I thought it was really interesting to learn stuff about Kate as well, and I thought Carly did that interview really well as well. So I just hope I can do as well as good a job as that. So I guess let's kick off with the questions. It's the same questions. So, who are you?
It's a good question.
Who are you?
I don't know. I don't know what to say. Do you know what? I'd say I'm quite a fun person. I'm quite outgoing. I think since joining Pigs, I've got a lot more confident than I was, say, to me last year.
Right. Okay.
Which
We've
is
never thought you were short on confidence, Molly, if I'm honest.
This time last year, I probably wouldn't have spoke to a group of people. So, yeah.
Okay. So what changed then? What's the difference?
I don't know. I think I've just got a lot more confident and open about meeting new people and wanting to know about their life stories and talking to them. And I think it's a lot easier because everyone's there for the same thing.
Yeah.
So you kind of talk about everything.
We're in the groove of looking for ghosts together, I guess. All right.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, the story I've said about how Molly got to join with us. I think Molly, you sent me three emails, which I think I ignored. I'm so sorry about that. And then you sent me an email going on about work experience. I thought, oh, that sounds quite interesting. We'll explore that. And it was only after that I realised that you'd emailed me before. Anyway, so you came along to one of the events. I think it was down in Fort Purbrook or something like that, wasn't it?
Mm-hmm.
And I asked you what it was you wanted to do, and you said, I'm looking to start my own paranormal group to do events. And I thought, wow, there's something no short in your confidence, isn't there? So we'll teach you how to do it, and you can become one of our competitors. But I was up for the challenge, and I thought, good luck to you. And of course, I think that happened then, I just ended up, so I think it was then at Fort Slough, I said, why don't you just join us? Stop the harassment. And of course there is, I'm so sorry about how strenuous that must have been to come and be on board with us. It's like, since you've come on board with us, I think you've shocked us all with how confident you are and how you handle people way beyond what it's not that we had low expectations, it's just that you performed way better than we thought. And it can be quite intimidating with these strange people, and all of greater years than yourself. But that doesn't phase you at all, I think, and that's one of your biggest superpowers that I would consider. Let's give us an average day in the life of Molly.
I'll give you an average day of when I was working, because now my days are really boring.
Right. Well, let's have both of them. Let's see what will be the judge if it's boring or not.
So when I was at work, I always get up, coffee, have to. It's a must. I mean, I drink at least 6 cups of coffee a day. It's like addiction. I'd then go to work for 8 until hopefully about 6 on a good day. Come home, chill, dinner, TV's a must, at least an hour, and then bed. It's like a really boring day.
Okay, there's a good amount of coffee. I'm glad you're keeping up the spirit and the coffee trade single-handedly with that. So what would it have been when you were working then?
So I worked in lighting for TV and film, and I was anything to do with the office, whether that was contacting the customers or like TV production people, making sure the deliveries and everything was made out on time, which was like loading lorries and getting them back in, making sure the equipment was working, and then any repairs that needed, we had to send them off to different places to get them repaired. But yeah, it was quite interesting seeing all the different aspect of it, because you don't see a lot of that when you watch TV. And then
It doesn't really occur to you all the stuff that goes on behind the scenes, does it, either?
Once you see just like a small part of it, there's so much to it compared to what you think. Like there's so much that goes into a light. It's mad.
I remember speaking to you about, I think we were doing Tunbridge Castle at the time, and you said, look, I would love to come, I just cannot, it's just manic around here.
Yeah.
So what sort of thing, would it be like a really high pressure environment sometimes?
Yeah, so you'd have, if you had a really big job going out, so we did, a couple of months ago, we did Big Brother, and you'd have a certain time it had to be out the door, but we'd get like a week's notice. and we had to have everything sorted, and it had to be out the door at a certain time. Whether that was the next morning, it had to be at Dover to be shipped out, or it had to be on a truck at a certain time to go out. Everything had to be on time, and everything had to be right. Otherwise, it was just mental. But yeah,
it does sound pretty mental, to be fair. And that's your thing. So you're used to like a high pressure environment anyway. Obviously, that would have provided that situation. So I guess, all right. So let's go on to maybe something a bit closer to what we're doing, which is still sometimes can be a bit up pressury. Some of you might have noticed. So, do you have any lucky charms or superstitions that you hold dear?
Lucky charms. I wouldn't say they're lucky, but I always keep, you probably notice, always keep a cross on. I'm not essentially like religious. I don't follow a religion like Christianity or anything, but I always wear the cross. I got this, I think it was my 13th birthday. It's quite a while ago. But I always have it on. I just feel more protected wearing it. And I always wear my mum's ring. Always. That's always with me. It's always like when you're not with them, they're still with you, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
But superstition wise, I don't really believe in them. I think the only one that I do has just been like a practice since I was a kid. Is always saying bless you to someone when they sneeze.
Oh,
I
okay.
don't know
That's a
why.
superstition. I guess it is.
That's like the only thing that I do. Other than that, like, because some people are like, oh, if you drop salt, you have to throw it over your shoulder or don't walk under ladders. I've never been into that.
What about magpies?
I'm not quite sure. I don't see what it's going to do if you salute one. I'm like, does it work? Does it not?
Well, I don't know. I'd like to say no, right? I'd like to say no, but I've seen so many single magpies to the point it really does do my head in. That I go, oh Jesus, not a single magpie, and I'm quite happy to go like do all the saluting thing because I just can't be bothered with playing it by chance because I don't know. It's just I'm superstitious about magpies.
Maybe I should have.
Well, I guess I suppose I think to be honest, it's a much healthier place not to be mercy to the superstitions.
Mm-hmm.
So you're in a lucky place with that.
Do more.
So charms and stuff is not like charms, which is I wondered because I know that you do a study, about demonology and you have a diploma and all that sort of stuff. And I was wondering if you would have any charms because of your knowledge of demonology and stuff.
Not really. I don't think you can have something that's going to protect you from it, really. Because once you read into things, it's something different for, say, demonology. There's something different for every single demon, and there are thousands. There's not one thing that's going to protect you from all of them.
Right.
So I don't think there would be something that I'd have or would be willing to get.
So how do you view then, in that case, things like black obsidian, which people view as like a protective stone and stuff?
So I've never really. I like crystals. I just don't understand it enough as to what they would do. I have them. I've just never understood how they work.
Well,
but it's something I'd be interested in.
I mean, there are a lot of things that only have weight because someone puts belief into them.
Yeah.
If you know what I mean. I suppose if you have brought enough belief into crystals, then for you, they will provide what you expect them to.
Yeah, that's what I think. If you have something and you believe that that's going to work, then it will.
Yeah.
Whereas if you have, say, a stone, you're going, well, it's just a stone. Nothing's going to happen because you don't believe in it. I think it all is belief.
I guess. I mean, I know that the obsidian stones that you can hold for protection and stuff. On the flip side of that, they're quite a good weight. You can always throw them.
Quite good.
Okay. So, except for looking for ghosts, what is your favourite pastime or hobby?
I love concerts. I have an obsession. I mean, I've done so many this year, but I've got a really diverse music taste.
Okay.
So
give us for example, give us the best concert you've been to this year.
Oh, I'd say it was the one I went to Saturday, which was McFly versus Busted.
Right.
Really amazing. I love McFly.
Okay.
Love a boy band.
So have you ever discovered a band because you've seen them live? So for example, you've just gone to a gig and there's someone played that you didn't really, you might have known them but didn't really think much about, because you've now seen them live, you think they're really great.
Oh, I don't know. I've not seen that many. I see the same ones quite a lot. But it was the first time seeing Bustin'. To be fair, they're really good live.
Yeah.
Because I'd never seen them before. I'd never really listened to their music, but they're really good live.
So give us a stretch then of your music tastes. So from so something we wouldn't expect to something that at the other end that we wouldn't expect either. I mean, you've now placed McFly and Busted in the middle, right, of what we think you're going to listen to. So now give us the edges.
Okay, so you've got boy bands as a centre. One end, you've then got like rave music, drum and bass. Absolutely love it, which is really out there. The other end, probably be like Latin sort of music, very Spanish.
Okay.
I
Yeah.
quite like that, like bachata music. It always just reminds me of holiday. Love it.
Right. Okay. Is that because is your love of it discovered from being on holiday?
Yeah, yeah.
All right. Okay. So we've got drum and bass at one end, and we've got like Latino kind of groove stuff at the other. So what about things like I don't know, the metal bands and all that? Where do they sit in your mind?
So far out. I find
It's
like
like
heavy metal. It's noise. Never got on with it. But it's weird because then I listen to drum and bass, which some people would then say the same thing.
it's also noise. Well,
Yeah.
I don't know. We can't really talk because we used to use drum and bass all the time. We used to use Prodigy and Pendulum and all that sort of stuff for our intro videos. And you know, if we were doing them again tomorrow, I'd probably turn back to those bands for that sort of stuff as
Yeah.
well, because of the energy that goes into it. But and of course, also, you know, some of it has that kind of dark but not gloom feel to it, which was ideal for what we were doing. What's the one random fact? What's one random fact about yourself? Random as you like.
Oh, a random one, which not a lot of people would know unless they knew me quite well, would probably be that I'm diabetic.
Okay.
Not many people would know. I've got like a really weird type. So it's not type 1 or type 2, I've got MODY, which
Right.
is maturity onset diabetes of the young. So with like type 1, it's autoimmune. With type 2, it's brought on by yourself. This one's from a gene, which you have no
Okay.
idea about until you get to about 16, which obviously is when your sugars then flare. But it's not based on what you eat or anything, it can just flare at any time, which is really
So
random.
so what do you have to do to manage it?
At the moment, not a lot. I'm literally still waiting on results from hospitals, but it's a really weird one because no one knows much about it.
I've never heard of it either, but
No, most people
obviously,
haven't. Yeah,
wow.
it's really strange. But managing sugars is fun because you can eat the same food every single day and your sugars will be different every single day.
Right.
It's mad.
Okay. Well, we wish obviously we wish you all the best with that, Molly, and I hope it does have some strategies for managing it. I guess.
Yeah.
So I get. What was your first ever paranormal experience?
That I can remember, I was at my nan's house when I was about 6, 7, and she had a little girl ghost who was I think she was about 7. She was a Victorian child, and my nan and my mum had seen her. And I went upstairs, and for some reason, I looked over the banister into my nan's room, and I just saw her standing there. I've never run downstairs so quick.
Wow.
But that was my first. It was like a full-on apparition of a child. Like I could draw it. It's that vivid in my mind.
So
It
was
was
it like that she was actually a person there, or was
Yeah.
it obviously looking at something which wasn't quite right?
It looked like someone was standing, staring back at me, but she had, like, you could only see to the knees. You couldn't see any further below. It was just air.
Okay.
It was really strange.
That is really odd. And so, how old were you when you witnessed this?
About 6 or 7.
Okay, so you were still young, and there's that thing, isn't there, about young children being more open to witnessing ghosts, if you
Yeah.
like, and
Mhm.
of course, and older people being able to witness it again
Yeah.
as well. But in the middle, we become a little bit closed off and don't see them.
hmm I think it's because when you're a child, you're so innocent, you don't really realise that it's real or not. And then when you do something, you either write it off completely or you're fascinated over it. But yeah, apparently a lot more children see ghosts.
Yeah, it is a thing. But there's not much people that, there's still people that don't like to talk about ghosts because they're for fear of being ridiculed or people thinking they're an idiot or
Yeah.
whatever. So were you terrified then, or was you terrified after? What
I was more
do you
scared when it
remember?
happened because I didn't think I was going to see it. It was just out of the blue. But I think once you then see one thing and you see more, you get used to it, and it just becomes like the norm.
That's quite mad. That's really cool, actually, as well. So you say you could draw it. Can you still vividly remember it to this day and be able to draw it?
Yeah, she was literally like a 7-year-old girl, like probably half of my height, pigtails with like little ribbons in the end of her hair, and like a pinafore dress, like really Victorian with the grey and white. But I could not see her shoes. It was just clean air.
That's really sharp. And I know, obviously, I know of you that you are a history nerd. Forgive the word nerd, I mean it in the most respectful way. But so did you ever put any research into trying to find out who she was and why she was there?
Yeah, so we found out where my nan lives. It used to be a big manor house. And I think there was a fire there, which is where the children would have died. So we're presuming it would have been that. But yeah, I think where her house was placed, it's like was the garden area of the big manor house.
Okay.
So could link to that.
That is very cool. That is a very cool ghost story, I have to say. So the next question I'm reading down, we're on 7 now. What made you join pigs?
I've always been interested in the paranormal, but I love it when you can then give that experience to the guests. To see their faces is just a picture when they actually see something and experience it firsthand. And I think we've done so many, especially when you get a skeptic and they come in, they don't believe anything, which is fair enough. I mean, everyone's got their own opinion. But when they walk out and they're like, that was weird, and they've experienced something and they can't explain it, absolutely brilliant. Because you
Yeah.
just feel like you've done your job.
But what is it about the pigs that made you want to go, I'm going to go with these guys and not go someone else?
I think with pigs, I think all the team leaders and team assists, everyone's more like a family and really supportive of everyone's views. Whereas you see some companies and they're just not as bothered about what you think. But I think pigs actually care about everyone, and it's more you care about the guests and what they experience, and obviously you get to try out all the equipment, which a lot of companies don't have. And like, because we do like obviously the traditional methods like a Ouija, and automatic writing, but then you've also got more technical things like the SLS camera, which I think is brilliant.
What would be your ultimate ghost night experience? The second part being, who would you team up with and what equipment would you want? And where would you go? So there's many questions. It's almost like a paragraph of questions in this in this one.
I think if it was UK based, I'd love to do Hellfire Caves because so many people have gone there and said they've experienced such and such. But I'd want to see it firsthand to see if it was real. Because you watch a lot of things on like YouTube and you look and go, did that happen? So I'd love to experience that firsthand. But if it was out of the UK, the Conjuring House in Connecticut, I would love to see what's still there because there's so
Okay.
much that, like Ed and Lorraine went there, there's so much history on it. I'd love to see it firsthand and see if there's something still there. I think that would be a brilliant place to go to.
I kind of agree, and I hadn't really thought about this question, but I think that's where I would probably want to go as well, because of the obviously known because of the films
Mhm.
now. So if you could go into any of these places, who would you go with?
I mean, obviously, the Pigs team. I think we'd be brilliant at like a really rogue location. Um, but I mean, if they were alive, I would love to do with Lorraine Warren because I just think she's amazing. To be able to just experience that firsthand would be something else.
Yeah, I think my mind was going exactly the same place, because these are the people that have had that experience and have reported it in a way, and you go, I want to go with you, but simply because I want to learn what the hell you did
Yeah,
to
and
have
how
this
you got to
experience in the
that
first
point.
place. Yeah, exactly. Okay, well, that's a really good. I really like that answer. That's a really good one. So, what's your experience in the paranormal world, and what's your superpower?
I'd like to say parapsychology would be like my top thing that I'm good at. because I did the diploma when I was 17, and you learn so much because it's not just about spirits, it's the way your mind works. And you go, was that paranormal, was it not? And you can kind of learn to explain, maybe it wasn't, maybe it was something to do with the mind and how the mind works. But other than that, demonology would be my second one. But it's quite a broad subject, you can't learn every single demon that there ever is or was, because there's so many. Everyone's got a different characteristic or like a way to summon it. But
Okay, so let me ask you a quick question of demonology. So you said there's many demons, and I don't know anything about it, so I don't have a reason to think there isn't. But so do they all have a common? I mean, what makes a demon in that case?
I don't really know. This is something that I don't think we'll ever like fully understand. But it's basically Satan's worker, as such, is what they'd be. Because they're not a spirit, they have never been born. They can't be born. But different religions believe in different demons. So you're never going to get the same thing. You can go to a different country and there'll be a whole 1,000 different demons because they believe in something else.
Yes, yeah. When they call ghosts lots of different things, don't they?
Yeah.
In different cultures. Okay, so that's interesting. So what we're saying is a demon is an entity that's never been born. So I was expecting you to say, my next question was going to be along the lines of how do we know it's a demon and not like, I don't know, the doctor's receptionist or someone's mother-in-law, you know what I mean? Something like that. But okay, so it's an entity that's never been born. So to be honest, it opens so many questions, which I won't stick on this for too long. But I think I know that Carly also has a great knowledge of demonology as well, and I've had this conversation with you and with Carly, and it would be great maybe if you guys would one day just do a live on this page, just chat about demonology. I think we're all going to just sit there and be like amazed at the sort of things that we will learn. Why should people come looking for ghosts with you?
I think it's all about energy. I really do. If you've not got the energy, I don't think you're going to get anything. And I'd say we're quite a fun team. We always have a laugh, whether it's nothing's happening or whether, you get something and it's quite a playful spirit. If you bring the energy, you're 100% going to get something, guaranteed. You can't guarantee every place is haunted, but if you bring the energy, you're going to have a good night either way.
Well, I know that you've had a string of really good nights and stuff, and I know you've got like a growing number of guests that have been on Team Night Sierra, and all of them have had a brilliant night. And I can see at the end when we do the debriefs, when you look at their faces and stuff, and you can just see that they're wide awake. No one is like just waiting to go home. They're all wide awake. They're all still engaged, and that's a reflection of the night that they've had. So the leadership that comes from yourself and Nikki is putting some kind of energy into them, and keeping them motivated and keeping them enthused and all the rest of it. And Kate does the same thing brilliantly as well. But look, Molly, amazing. Thank you so much for giving us the time to do this like insight into Molly, and brilliant. Some very insightful stuff and some things that we didn't know about Molly. So brilliant. Thank you so much for that, Molly.
All right, thank you.
And we'll catch you in 17 minutes.
See you in a bit.
Bye.